this really has no format. I'm not really too sure as to exactly how this series or how all this is going to pertain, but essentially what I'm trying to get into is just trying to be able to, I guess, just be the voice, the counter voice to whatever you're hearing right now. Because there's a lot of people out there, especially when you're an artist, right? Because this whole segment, this whole thing that I'm starting now is called art appeal. It's essentially just being able to make your art appeal to a mass amount of people. So essentially just making your art appeal to consumers, making your art appeal to corporate people, making your art appeal to anybody who appreciates whatever medium that you're delving into, right? Because when I eventually, or I guess settled on the fact that I was going to be an artist, right? Because as an artist, you're kind of like, you're moving around, shaking, making moves, trying to figure out exactly if it's something that you want to do. And I believe that all in all, it's interesting. You have to really have a strong voice in your head in terms of understanding what it is you want to do. A lot of people are going to try to push you and sway you to not doing what you want to do, but you have to understand that as an artist, you have to make your own decisions, and then you have to stand firm on them. So yeah, I just want to be like the counter voice. That's essentially what I think me having these segments where I'm just sitting and talking in front of the camera is going to be just segments of just like, I like to call it just like, I don't know. I think the way you can look at it is essentially just like, like, I don't know. However you want to look at it however you want to look at it. But for me, the way I'm looking at it is like, all of this is just like, I want everybody who's listening to this to just understand that, like, as long as you're coming and checking in with me, watching these videos, you never have to worry about that voice in your head, right? Because that voice in your head, like I said, this video doesn't really have a topic. I guess the topic of this video is the voice in your head. So the voice in your head is going to always try to tell you why you shouldn't do this art, why you shouldn't do this, why you shouldn't do that. A lot of things you're going to see are going to be telling you why you should do this or why you should do this, Oh, that's a notification. But at the end of the day, you have to really understand that it's like your self-belief in yourself is the only thing that's going to get you anywhere. Because me, myself, as somebody who started to get into art, my first endeavor into art was becoming an actor. The very first thing I was doing was being an actor. But actually, you know what? Before that even, I would actually call messing around with Legos as art. So I was messing around with Legos, building Legos, and then from there, I started doing a lot of stop motion animation. So that was the very first art thing I actually was doing, was stop motion animation. Then from there, I wanted to get into acting. So I got into acting. I got into producing music. I got into being an artist. I got into running my own record label. All of these were all steps to get me to the point I am now, where it's like I run a creative studio, where I'm able to generate 3D ideas, generate fashion ideas, generate music ideas, and all these stem from all things that I actually like doing. So it's all of these steps is just like the self-belief. Like when I started doing acting, it wasn't something I really understood. I didn't know how you were supposed to get an agent, but I just knew from my sheer persistence, my ability to be persistent, and the voice in my head at that time was small because my confidence was so large. So the voice in my head is so small and it's not fighting against me. So at that time, especially when you're younger, you don't have a lot of people telling you no. So you're just experimenting. So when I got into the acting thing, I just knew that, like, if I make a demo tape, someone's got to do something with it. Because I understood the market I was in. I was in Vancouver at the time, living in Vancouver at the time, and I understood that, like, there's not a lot of black people here. So if me as a black person, if I can make some kind of a demo tape, someone should be able to pick me up as a black actor. So I understood that. Even at a young age, I was like 14 making these things, getting into acting, right? 14, 15, around that time. So it was around that, I just sent all the demos to I collected the list of, this is all about like, as an artist, you gotta do a lot of legwork. So I did a lot of legwork by collecting all the names in Vancouver, all the acting agencies in Vancouver, that I collected all their emails and I sent my demo tape over to them. After I sent my demo tape over to them, a lot of people said no, but one person said yes. And that one person that said yes, they took me on under the agency. They started giving me acting classes. They booked me for commercials. And that's how I started getting work. It was just one person that believed. Even though the demo tape was diamond in the rough, obviously it was really bad. But like, it was that thing, that first trial and error of hearing a bunch of no's and finally hearing that first yes. That's where I was able to understand and see, okay, like, whatever I want to do, whatever I want to apply myself to, I can apply myself to it as long as I'm persistent. Never give up with anything that you're supposed to do. Especially with a lot of this art stuff, I wasn't able to get to the place I am today without a lot of trials and tribulations. I had to let a lot of girlfriends go. I had to let a lot of people I thought were my friends go. I had to let a lot of family members that I was messing around with, I had to let them all go, you know? Like, because it's not strangers that are going to tell you that you can't do something. The people that are going to tell you can't do something the most is your friends and your family, okay? It's your friends and your family the most. They're the ones who are going to tell you, yo, don't do that, do this, do that, go over here. You can be more productive over here. You can be more there. It's like, no, everyone's always going to try to sway you because they're all trying to keep you safe. But at the end of the day, it's like, you're in a medium where you're not going to be safe, okay? Being an artist is not a safe trajectory. You're not jumping into art saying, oh, okay, I'm safe. No, bro. Even me today, running a successful business, I'm still in the early stages of it. I'm still in the early stages of being able to control a helm that allows me to create anything I want artistically. Because that was always the goal. I first was getting into this, I didn't know if I wanted to be a musician or this, that, and the third. But after really realizing it, I'm like, dude, I'm an artist, man. I love too many things, and I get bored really easily. So even with the whole music thing, I took a break from music. I was like, bro, I'm bored with music. Music is boring me. Took like a year hiatus, just messing around, not really making anything, you know. And it's like, and now I'm really messing around with animations. And then by the end of this year, we should have the first Womp Burger clothing full collection ready to go. So, you know, I'm always doing different things, but it's that belief. You got to start off with something, do it to the best of your ability before you move on to other things. Each step of the process that I moved on, from actor, music, visual art, it's all part of the process, but I took little steps of everything, and I learned a piece of every helmet I was wearing, and I kept that knowledge with me. So when you're first starting off, you wear that first hat, that's it. Then you wear the second hat, then you wear the third hat, then you wear the fifth hat. Eventually, I was a man with multiple hats on his head, right? Multiple hats. But the thing is, with wearing multiple hats, is eventually you're going to have to learn how to delegate, right? So that was the whole process of me, was like learning how to delegate, learning how to believe in myself to then be able to delegate. So I'm not too sure what kind of a rant I'm going on. I'm not too sure exactly what I'm saying here, but I do want you guys to understand that the voice in your head, this voice that's telling you not to do this art, not to do this, not to do that, you need to stop listening to this voice. Don't listen to this voice. Come check me out. This is episode 1 of Art Appeal. I like that name. The name I originally had before was Crayola to Payola, but as we are with things that are copywritten, we can't use that name. So I like the name Art Appeal. I do prefer Crayola to Payola though. Sounds cool, but Art Appeal is cool too. Anyway, so yeah, this is the video. Quick little 10-minute video. Don't listen to the voice in your head. That voice is going to negate you. It's going to tell you to do wrong things. Next thing you know, you're going to be 45 being like, man, I should have pursued my artistic endeavors. Okay? So don't be that dude at 45 being an L, a lame. Actually, at 45, you can actually still do your art if you wanted to. Okay? So that's all I'm saying. Essentially, what I'm getting at here, guys, is that voice in your head is going to deter you. Right now, what you need to do is experiment as much as you can, doing different things, trying different things, and learning a little bit from everything, and then adding that to the magic sauce that is you today, okay? This art stuff is a long road. It's going to take a while. You might decide to do one thing, but understand that each step is all part of the path to wherever you're going to end up. If you believe in your art enough, and you can understand that people eventually are going to pay you moolah money for your art, then yeah, stick it out, because you're gonna do 5 years and you don't know, on year 6 things might change. You know, that's what I thought. I'm in this game right now for almost 14 years, bro. 14 years in making art. I just believed in myself that much, and now I'm making tangible bread. So belief, bro. That voice in your head, crush that dude, bro. Crush him. Don't listen to him. All right? That's it. That's the video. It's your boy xCephasx, aka Hot Noodle. We out of here.